Wow. I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Damn it, Chris.
I
I had
gotcha.
myself on mute. See what happens.
It
Anyways,
happens.
what is going on, Rundown Nation? We are back, episode 54. Chris Dotson filling in for Chris Cousins this week, Director of Media Strategy. He is. Chris is on vacation. He'll be back probably the week after next, so episode 56.
Yeah.
As always, we are live on YouTube and Facebook, so make sure that you like and subscribe to those channels, and so you have all notifications when we're live and anything that gets posted. It's been a few months. I appreciate you and the other Chris holding it down while I was recovering from my broken ankle, sir. I am mobile now. I'm back on 2 feet, so I am on the loose, off the chain, and I can get to my office now so I can actually work on stuff. So season just sneaks up on us like that, man. And so here we are. How you doing tonight?
Well, I'm glad to see that you're back on both feet, not just one. You know, you got to stay away from those bar fights, man. I'm telling you, they're not healthy for you to get into. And I know you like to be like Chuck Norris and just take it out. Just like
I had to break my foot off in someone's ass, and I literally broke my foot.
Literally.
Just kidding.
Just kidding. It happens. 2025 was such a banner year. You're kicking so much ass that you broke your foot. But man, let me tell you, that was a long winter. Now, of course, you guys knew I just moved up here from Oklahoma back in September, and I haven't seen this much snow in my life. It was the coldest winter I've ever experienced. It was colder than my first marriage. It really was. It was ugly. It really was. But hey, as always, the show is powered by the PFA, Players Football Association, for the players, by the players. And a big shout out to Trinity Trifecta, the official uniform provider for the PFA teams, as well as the official gear provider for the Rundown family of shows. And also, we have Coach's Corner and First and 10. Those will be dropping throughout the season. Make sure that you subscribe to all of these to get the latest notifications and segments.
And also, the Rundown will be on the road again this year, taking our show on the road to a game near you. So look for that schedule to drop. We got it all worked out. We just got to make the flyer and drop it. So, but as always, Chris, like you said, the show is powered by a PFA. Coming up on the show tonight, we talked to Mr. AJ Smith. I won't say former Detroit Raven because he's a Raven, probably always a Raven, once a Raven.
Always a Raven, yes.
Detroit Raven, AJ Smith, wide receiver, also Toronto Argonaut of the CFL wide receiver. So we're going to talk to him about his journey from pro advancement team with the Ravens to now his journey going up to Toronto to get ready for CFL camp for the Toronto Argonauts. But as always, it's time to pay some bills. We're going to be right back. You're watching the Rundown.
Soprano. Oh, you hate me? Hate you too, little boy, better not tell Bono. I'm him, I know. HBO Soprano. Oh, you hate me? Hate you too, little boy, better not tell Bono. You need a band, I need respect. Hate when I see what they do for a check. Lately I know when they fumble or crumble, admit that it's hard and I look at a wreck. I just neglect people that saying they be on my radar that really expect. Put down my
Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. Man, first show back in months, man. It's always something going wrong. Something going
You're
wrong.
fumbling
Man.
like your foot right now. It's all good.
Welcome back, and you're watching episode 54 of The Rundown live as always on Facebook and YouTube. So make sure you follow and subscribe both those platforms for us.
Well, welcome back to The Rundown, as you were saying. Tonight, we have a special treat. We're talking about the grind, the setbacks, and what it really takes to level up. Joining us now, former Detroit Ravens standout, now stepping into the Toronto Argonauts in the Canadian Football League. As they like to say, AJ Smith is in the building. AJ, thank you for taking some time to chat with us in your busy schedule. Let's get right down to it. How does this moment really feel for you right now, transitioning from the Ravens all the way to the Argonauts, man?
Honestly, it still feels surreal because it's one of them rare once in a lifetime opportunities, and it's I'm still mind boggled to think that this happened to me.
Right. I can only imagine, the flow of emotions that are coming in there, because training for so long, I imagine, a lot of us started in grade school and just working that way up and learning the little tricks to the trade and finding out what each level has to offer and what each level is different in. You're going from a level that, quite frankly, a lot of people kind of snicker at, but you used it as a stepping stone to get to the professional level. And that's a huge stepping stone right there, to go from semi-pro all the way to the Canadian League. That's AAA right there in my book. AAA to get ready for the NFL, Canadian and the UFL. You're stepping yourself in the right direction. Now take me back to your Ravens days. What did people not see about your grind? What was the steps that you took to get to this level?
Practice. Practice coming from the Bills to the Ravens. I like to be an athlete. I like to try to stay on the field.
Mm-hmm.
So when I first got to the Ravens, one of the first things T. Sims told me was like, you feel me? Just do your position. Don't worry about nothing else, because I can kick the ball too. So
nice.
Right. So that is just, I don't know. Practice. It all comes down to practice though. Practice was a lot more harder than the games, going against a 6'5" corner almost every day. So yeah, that's where it's gonna make or break.
AJ,
now you mentioned kicking. I don't mean to cut you off there, Brian. But you mentioned kicking, and there's a couple things to this whole thing. First of all, what's your longest kick right now?
Long kicking. I did have one touchback against Racing and on kickoff, and probably punting was probably like 50 or 55 yards.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's good stuff right there, and being able to get to yourself. And you mentioned something really great was practice, but also just motivating yourself every day to get to that practice, to really push yourself. I can imagine the extremes that you went through to really get to that point, man. I got to commend you for that.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It was very tough though, especially just trying to stay consistent with working schedule.
Absolutely.
AJ, playing in pro advancement, you played for the Bills and then now to the Ravens. Was there ever a moment you thought that pro advancement football would be as far as it goes for you?
No. I always use pro advancement for film purposes.
Okay.
My goal was always to try and go overseas and play football. So you feel me, with the CFL coming, that really helped out. But yeah, I not having the stats that I wanted to at my Division I school, I felt like I had a lot of aggression and just a lot of energy that just wasn't used, and I had to get it out somewhere. So I always knew that this was going to be my opportunity, especially playing with the Ravens, to level up.
Right.
Oh, there we go. Oh, sorry. Trying to switch the cameras around there. AJ, do you think some players love the dream more than a sacrifice? Obviously, that wasn't your case because you've sacrificed to get where you are. But do you think some of the players just love the dream about moving up as far as they can go, more than the sacrifice it takes to get there?
Yeah, because mentally, after I tell you these two meetings that I've been in with the receivers, just the playbook is just so exhausting. We
Yeah,
got
you look
probably
like your
10,
head hurts. You look
yeah, we
looking
probably got
at
like 10 pages written down already, and that was just from
man.
one meeting.
Wow.
So I mean, it is a make or break, and then it's gonna really test you, especially like I got it. Now it's not just about having it or just saying I did it. It's about actually continuing with it and
Right.
actually
Yeah.
making the team and playing in the season.
Sure. Was that the moment, or what moment really kind of made you immediately think this level is completely different than what I've ever experienced before?
Pro advancement or CFL?
No, into the CFL.
CFL, I mean, with the first formation that they gave me, it was just 6 receivers.
Mhm.
You got
6
2
receivers.
that can motion behind the line.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're
You
not
know,
even we're not even done with the motions. Like
oh, yeah, because unlike the NFL, if some of those that have not watched Canadian football, there's a few nuances to it. The field is a little bit different. You'll notice they get an extra 5 yards. And we love using those Canadian references on our broadcast, because once they get past the 50, we'll be like, and a ball spotted at the 53-yard line if you're Canadian. So we just got to use those references to pull people in to watch Canadian football, because not a lot of people
right.
do,
And I think it's 2 50-yard lines.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen a CFL game, so this is crazy to hear. Like I know the rules are different, obviously, but 250-yard lines, that's crazy.
Yeah. It is, and you get that 5-yard buffer too, and it's kind of fun. And on top of it, the end zones are much deeper. I mean, it's almost like 20 yards, but you get the field goal. Back in the day, remember back before the Super Bowl happened, back in the 60s, I think they made that transition to put the field goals to the back of the end zone in the NFL. They left them up front, so there's wide receivers out there that have taken a pummeling just by the goalposts.
Yeah, just from the goalposts.
You got to watch out. You got road hazards out there. Yeah. But AJ, let me ask you, what's something about the CFL that fans don't quite understand besides the stuff that we just talked about?
It's a 20 to 25 personnel rules. So 25 players have to be Canadian, 20 have to be American on each team.
Wow.
Okay.
So
That's
not only am I
definitely
battling, not only am I battling against the receivers in my room, I'm battling against a D lineman, a corner, possibly a quarterback.
Wow. Just to make that roster and keep on that roster. Does that change weekly? Because we see this oftentimes in arena, like in the IFL, where you have a certain roster amount, and that can change weekly depending on what their needs are, especially if you're a kicker. Kickers, sometimes those are the most fleeting positions that we've noticed in the IFL. Is that kind of similar to what you're seeing in the CFL? Is that kind of week by week if you're battling for those positions?
I honestly couldn't even tell you because I haven't been that far into it yet.
I guess we'll find out soon enough.
Yeah. I'll definitely let you know, though.
Sure. AJ, what does success in the CFL look like to you in your mind? What would you consider a success going up to Toronto and being in the CFL?
Making the team and staying the whole year, regardless of how that looks. Whether you feel me, have to play special teams the whole year and have 12 tackles on the year and no catches, or 600 yards and still doing special teams. No matter what, as long as I make the team, that's all that matters to me.
Right on.
But yeah, that's the most important thing. Just getting my name in that conversation to
sure,
as one of the players to stay.
So the CFL season runs the same time that Pro Advancement runs, so they're playing the same time as the Ravens schedule's playing.
It'll be mid-June till November. Grey Cup is in November.
Okay.
Which means, Brian, we're going to have to catch a flight to Toronto to be able to watch one. And I talked to some of my buddies that are Canadian up there, one of which that runs his own podcast, and we've done several episodes on. And he was like, "Hey, are you going to go to Edmonton this year?" I'm like, no, I'm up here in Ohio now, right? In the Cleveland area. Now, it might be a little bit closer to get to Toronto because that's just this hop, skip, and a jump flight right there. So now we got an even bigger excuse to head up that way, Brian.
Yep. Better add that to the budget so the commissioner puts that in our budget for media to support our players. So, AJ, when it's all said and done, what do you want your story and your legacy to say?
That he gave it all he had, even when his back was against the wall.
Very good.
And
Very good.
That really hurt coming out, like, because just knowing what I mean by that, is.
Oh, he's freezing up a little bit. Did you guys freeze?
You know, sometimes we get that with.
My bad.
Oh, there we go. We're back. All right, right.
We just buffered a little bit.
My bad. But a lot of people, you feel me, they leave school or they don't have the success that they want to after college, and they get older not knowing what they want to do. And I just want to be one of them, not even voices. I just want to be one of the names that just shows, like, no matter what, he still tried. And no matter what, he still got it done.
You know what? That's a great lesson. Persistency. You know, we might not be the most talented people out there. We might not be one of the most well-liked people out there. Matter of fact, we might be hated by some.
I'm pretty sure we are.
And we definitely are. But it's persistency. It's coming back. It's taking those life lessons and applying those. And people like yourself, AJ, that just refuse to stop. Let me ask you now, what's one lesson that you refuse to walk away without?
Don't least, like, one lesson that I just can't go without is just, if you never did, then you feel me, you really can't talk about it. Or I don't know if I'm rephrasing it right, but like, if you never tried, you don't know.
Exactly.
Right. Good point. Very good point.
Well, AJ, we appreciate you pulling up. I know you got a lot of things going on, so we appreciate you sharing your journey with us, and we're definitely watching. I should have got your autograph the last time I saw you at the championship game, but I'll catch you on the flip side. But for everyone watching, this is what the grind really looks like. Make sure you tap in, subscribe, and follow AJ's journey in Toronto. And we wish you nothing but the best, sir. And we'll definitely be watching and listening, and hope the best, man. And again, have a great night, and we appreciate you jumping on.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys. Anytime,
sir. Anytime. We'll catch up with you in maybe mid-season and get you back on again, see how it's going.
Definitely. I'm always open for interviews.
All right.
Outstanding. That was AJ Smith of the Detroit Ravens, headed down to the Argonauts, actually up to the Argonauts if you're Canadian, depending on what hemisphere that you're in. Camp in the CFL. Best of luck to him as he looks to cement his name in pro football. You're watching episode 54 of The Rundown. We'll be right back right after this.
Soprano. Oh, you hate me? Hate you too, little boy. Better not tell Bono. I'm him. I know. HBO Soprano. Oh, you hate me? Hate you too, little boy. Better not tell Bono. You need a band. I need respect. Hate when I see what they do for a check. Lately, I know when they fumble or crumble. Admit that it's hard and I look at a wreck. I just neglect people that saying they be on my radar that really expect. Put down my
And we are back.
Buenos nachos.
Welcome back to episode 34 of The Rundown. As Chris said, that was AJ Smith of the Detroit Ravens, now the Toronto Argonauts of the CFL. The season upon us, Chris, time we all been waiting for, taking a look at how the teams are shaping up. Time for our official 2026 team preview. That's being said, let's jump right in. We start off with none other than the Capital City Bandits.
Right. The Capital City Bandits are going into their second year as a pro advanced team and their first year in the PFA, boasting a 10-4 record and runner-up in the GMFC. In the 2025, of course, losing to the Grand Rapids Surge, finishing, now they did finish well on the top 25 in the NBSE 2A poll. They look to continue their run in the inaugural season in the PFA.
That is correct. I spoke to Coach Matt, Chris, about the upcoming season for the Bandits, and like he always says, we play football over here. And you can see that their Bandits stand for being accountable, notably determined, influencing, and total success. And he
got an acronym.
He stands by that. Yes, he does. Coach Matt called a revamped O-line that includes key pickups of Ethan Yost and where'd it go? I didn't have a picture of him, but turning in the back, the wide receiver and linebacker is Jonathan Trainer Mack, and also the key pickups for Ethan Yost, number 51, Jaleel Jones. The offensive line also includes rookies Austin Schroff. Where was that at? I seen that he was on here. Come on, work. There we go. And number 75, Dequan Randolph. So one of the many key offensive standouts includes three-way player Charleston C5, who had a phenomenal year on offense, defense, and special teams, including 10 touchdowns as a slot receiver, Chris, 16 interceptions, and 2 of those returned for touchdowns on defense.
Hey, not bad. Some first-year players to really make an impact in 26. I'm going to say number 1, E.J. Jackson, who'll be sharing the backfield with number 34, Bob Blamo. See, I got to say that 3 times.
That wasn't a typo. That's how it was really spelled. So,
how about that? Number 42, Russ Phillips, linebacker fullback, will be paired with his college sidekick to really set the tone in the middle and also bring more physicality in the backfield. Some other players looking to key contributors will be number 2, wide receiver Jonathan Trainer Sr., number 15, Caleb Ersick. I probably really butchered that name. And if I didn't, let me try another. Erskine.
Yeah.
Erskine. Okay. Third time's a charm. And defensive lineman, number 40, Terrell Snyder, number 16, William Kasim Sanders, and number 95, Byron Pierce as well. The Bandits kick off the season at home on May the 2nd, taking on the Mid-Michigan Apes in the 2A League matchup.
That's right, Chris. Can't wait to see them on the field. Coach Mack runs a great team over there. They were runners-up last year. They had some bowl appearances. Didn't go their way on a couple of those games, but I think they're going to make a strong, deep run into the 2A division of the PFA, Chris. Next up, we have the Flint Fury.
The Fury.
Another first-year PFA team, but they're no stranger to pro advancement football by any means. They've been around for 20 years. Coach Charles over there, the owner and coach of the Flint Fury, they're poised to make a run at the PFA 2A title for 2026 as well. They will be leaning heavily on the 20-plus years of experience to push through the season. With a mix of guys that have been there for some years and some brand-new players, the Fury look to turn a rebuilding year into a PFA 2A championship run.
On the offensive side of the ball, wide receiver Jalen Whitaker returns coming off of a great 2025 season where he took 2025 team MVP honors. He also brings great skill and is not only in the red zone threat, but can stretch the field and is a danger when it comes to running the ball on special teams. So be watching out for that. The Fury will host the Illinois Grizzlies in the MDFL on the 18th of this month, which is coming up as fast as it's coming. I mean, it's just lightning fast. And a crossover preseason game, and we'll travel to Tri-City Stampede in the MFL on the 25th, and a crossover preseason game as well. Then they will travel to Glass City to open their 2026 2A PFA schedule. They're going to get furious.
And that game against the Tri-City Stampede is the battle for, I think it said I-75. Is that 75 that runs to Detroit? Yeah.
It is 2075. Yeah. I mean, we go there every year. I'm there at least once a year, typically on Thanksgiving to watch the Detroit Lions. We'll see if I can get there this year again, too, because those ticket prices are going through the roof now. It's insane.
Oh, man. Yeah, everything's going through the roof, Chris. Next
except for my wallet.
Next up, we have the Lima Warriors. Lima going into year 3 as a PFA team, and they're looking to improve even more in 2026. Chris, this is your first year in the PFA, but Lima is in a rebuilding, and they've in the last 2 years they've improved immensely, and their goal is to get to a championship again. They have a long history of championships. They've been around for another team that's been around for a long, long time. They're full of talented players, including the 2A PFA MVP, Connerton Yates. He'll be returning. He was 80 for 173 last year, threw 974 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions. He returns to lead the offense once again. Also, offensively, John Savoy. These two along players like Michael Johnson and Donovan Sanchez, which you see pictured there, who is a two-way player, will lead, or multi-positional player, will lead the Lima offense. Keep an eye out for rookie Torian Lute.
Torian Lute. All right. So the Lima defense boasts several returning players, including PFA 2A MVP, defensive MVP for you, and linebacker of the year, Ethan Missamore, with 66 tackles, 16.5 sacks. How do you get a half a sack? You just kind of bump them?
Somebody helped him. Somebody grabbed his one leg and he had his other leg or something, I guess. I don't know.
I like my situation better. You just kind of tap them and get it. 4 forced fumbles and 1 interception and 1 touchdown. Dakariah Adams, 23 tackles, 13 sacks. And Torrance Smith, with all returned to Lima defense in 2026. Now, Lima kicks off the preseason taking on GCT on the 18th and will also host the Canton Hurricanes on the 25th out of the TPFL and kick off the regular season taking on the Tri-State Longhorns in the TPFL. Up next is the Grand Rapids Surge. The Surge are no strangers to pro football advancement world as they are going into their 4th season, coming back from the league championship, the 2024 MIFL and the 2025 GMFC, and are the 2025 I-75 Trinity Trifecta champions, say that 3 times fast, and had a national championship appearance in 2025.
When it comes to players, Chris, the Surge have a solid core of players that are returning in 2026. They have Malik Kelly and Kevin Valdez Jr. on the defensive side of the ball. They will have Adam Bush and Ardell Cruz III returning. Some new players on the team in 2026 include Zach Taylor, James Smith, and Terry Hill McKay. The Surge are starting the preseason with a couple of crossover games. On 4/18, they'll take on the Midwest Vengeance out of Indiana. They're also from the MDFL. And on 25th of April, they take the Chicago Falcons. Then they kick off the regular season versus the Michiana Fighting Ducks, also a crossover game out of the MDFL.
Right on. The Fighting Ducks. I always like to have a duck name in there. That's pretty fun. Well, more on the 2026 PFA preseason show right after this. You are watching The Rundown. Welcome back to episode 54 of the Rundown. It basically the Chris and Brien show. I'm the other Chris, the other white meat, filling in for Chris Cousins. I'm just kind of a whiter shade of the same chicken. And let's go ahead and continue on with the preseason show live here on Facebook and YouTube. So you don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, I just lost myself on that one. Always powered by the PFA, for the players, by the players. Let's get back into it. The Flag City Flag City Phantoms.
Aren't you? You're going to be doing their broadcast. If you call them the Panthers during the live, I'm going to laugh.
I'm going to die. They're going to shoot me, actually.
I don't see anybody from the Phantoms watching the show, so you might be okay. They might not even rewatch it. They might not. I might
be surprised, you know? Like, hey, Dodson, hey, come here. I got something to tell you. All right, so Flag City Phantoms come into 2026 with something to prove, with back-to-back championship losses, which we saw that last one, and man, they had hung right in there, just couldn't finish it off. They're determined to get back into the show and get that hardware for once. I mean, that would be great. You don't want to go in like the Bills, you know, like going in 4 Super Bowls straight. You don't want to do that and walk away with nothing. You know, you got to get back into the whole thing. Anyway, so they take on the Mid-Ohio Patriots on the 11th. Now, we're going to be down there at the Southern Sports Network broadcasting that game. So you can watch that live on the Southern Sports Network. We'll be on the app, which is downloadable on any Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, iOS phones, and Android phones. Also, we'll be on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. So definitely check that one out. They'll be taking on the Michigan Bills on the 18th and then kicking off the season, traveling to Stark County to take on the Wolfpack.
You didn't get the updated info I sent you, did you?
Which updated info? Because I never got that.
Oh, it was they sent me the who's returning and stuff. Returning to the FCP in 2026 is quarterback Maurice Lovett, a.k.a. Black Brady. Last year, he filled in part of the season, not all the season, but if he would have had a full season underneath his belt, Chris, I think his stats would have been way higher. He was 26 for 66, 425 yards and 8 touchdowns. He led the offense most of the season, and that included the championship. Can't wait to see what he can do with a full season. Tevin Redmond, also a two-way player, and was also the PFA 2A MVP for defense in 2025, looks to bring that energy again to the team. Returning on offense is athlete Nas Neal, wide receiver Shandon Morris, and returning offensive line Brandon Garcia, who brings a big veteran presence to that O-line. But really, what really stood out for FCP organization in 25 is the defense. Returning, I mean, their defense was pretty solid all year. Brandon Wayholter on the defensive line, and in the back, Javon Phillips, linebacker, and Leandre Pope, defensive back. It will be joining the team as well. Some key off-season pickups and players to watch are Aaron Shannon, defensive back, Dre Reap. He's an athlete, very good returner, special teams guy. Devontae Pickard, tight end, defensive end, and then rookie Ty Tanks the second. Sorry.
I like two.
I like that last name, Tanks. I mean, that's a pretty good name.
It is Ty Tanks 2.0.
He's a rookie, so we'll be looking at him for Rookie of the Year in his first season with FCP. Caleb Foltz, also with the FCP, who's currently signed with the West Michigan Ironman Arena team. He won the Rookie of the Year last year. So, like Chris said, they take on the Mid-Ohio Patriots on the 11th and Michigan Bills in a preseason game, which is a 2A versus 3A matchup. Hey, Coach Ellis, how you doing, sir? Long time, buddy. We need to catch up sometime. Coach Ellis, shout out to Coach Ellis, Charles Ellis, watching the show. And they take on the Wolfpack to open the season. Yeah, and that's FCP. Always one of my favorite teams, been around, before I joined the PFA. Aaron Sanders, great guy, great owner, and our condolences and our prayers and thoughts go out to his family for his loss. His family lost this last couple weeks ago. So prayers and hope everything is looking good for you, buddy. We miss you. Much love from all the PFA staff and the teams too.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, absolutely. Now, question: getting back to the alarm here, are you guys getting a tornado or somebody kidnapped?
I don't know. I didn't. Was that me or you?
That was you, man.
Well, shit. I hope it's not a tornado.
You know what? Teeth in, bras on, get your bags packed because it's tornado season, guys.
I mean, it's not really dark outside. I mean, maybe someone got kidnapped. I mean, that's
kidnapped by a tornado. It happens every now and then. Charles Ellis writes in. He goes, "Where the hell is Chris? Chris is on vacation, so you get the other white meat. You get the whiter version of Chris, and here I are."
Yeah, Chris Dotson.
Chris Dotson. That's right. All right, moving right along, we're going to be talking about the Glass City Tigers, and Brian, you've got all the information on that.
I do, and the Glass City. Well, unfortunately, Coach Hen, who's a movie star, is way too busy to send me the information I asked for. He probably was. He's a busy guy. He's a busy guy shooting movies, going to banquets and red carpet events. So I will give him a pass. We love Coach Henderson. We missed him while he was gone last year, and now he's back in the PFA. They come back home in 2026, coming off a National Bowl game appearance in 2025. Chris, they look to take the PFA 2A championship. They kick off that road to the championship, traveling to Lima, Ohio to take on the Lima Warriors. Can they make a move in the stacked 2A division of the PFA? Time will tell.
Well, you know what? We're going to move right along to the Michigan Force. And the Michigan Force, one of the newest teams in 2A franchises to join the PFA in 2026. Lots of big things are happening over there in the Force organization. Now, the big story is a very close position battle between two uniquely talented quarterbacks. Both very talented, and it's going to be a tough decision to see who's going to get the start in week 1 versus FCP. The biggest standout so far on offense for the Force are running backs. Now, how do you pronounce TOU? Is it Tau or two, or how do we get that pronunciation?
I'm going to say, and I could be wrong, it sounds Samoan.
It does.
So
we're going to say Tau. I like Tau. So Tau Bridges Jr. and Jay Miller are going to be the real lightning and thunder combination. And we love seeing lightning and thunder. It's great. It's like Sonic and Knuckles. When you get those two combinations, it's great in the backfield. On the defensive side of the ball, James Rogers, linebacker, Carlos Alexander are going to be leaders and standouts on the defense for 2024. Now, the Force kicks off week 1, taking on the Flag City Phantoms, which will be a huge test for the start of the season.
Yes, it will. As a new team, not saying that they are going to have trouble playing the Phantoms, but the Phantoms have the experience and they've been around for a couple years. But I think it's going to be a good matchup. Right on to the next one. Let's see. We'll skip the commercial this time. Where did my apes go? Okay. So I don't have any graphics for the apes. So. The 231 Ape Life is another brand new team in the 2A division of the PFA, looking into their camp so far on offense. Quarterback CJ Levison, who played for, I believe he came from a different team from Michigan last year they played for, is a veteran leader on and off the field, bringing years of experience and a high football IQ. Hang on a second. Tornado warning. Oh, I guess it was a tornado warning.
Hey, there we go. First tornado warning of the season. Congratulations.
No, that's not even the first. That's like the third one we've had in this town.
Oh wow!
And when the last one we had, it went through Grand Rapids or something. Or not Grand Rapids, Battle Creek. Anyways, before the tornado takes my house, CJ Levinson is a veteran leader on and off. We got to get the show in before the tornado hits.
Yeah, true facts.
Bringing years of experience and a high football IQ to the organization, Chris. He's versatile, can make plays with his arms and legs at any given time. Running back Antonio Thomas, a strong north and south runner who loves to finish off defenders and plays both sides of the ball. Miles Walton, an athlete, an electric playmaker who is the Apes' Swiss Army knife. Mm-hmm. Wide receiver Jeremiah Dalt runs routes silky smooth and can take a defense with ease. And he really stands out at blocking and getting pancakes. That's what he likes to do.
Oh, we love pancakes. A little bit of syrup on the pancake, baby.
Pancakes with lots of syrup.
Woo. Now, Brian, on the defensive side of the ball for the Apes, Bo Shanks. I love that name, Bo Shanks.
There's some good names tonight, man. Like
Bo Shanks.
Shanks. Yeah.
Yeah. A hard-hitting safety will make a running back pay the price He's coming back to pick off the quarterback, a true playmaker that is the quarterback of the defense. Now, defensive back Rizzo Williams has a great ball skills and will lay the wood down in the running game. And we cannot forget about defensive back Mark Harding, a veteran player who brings a ton of experience and leadership and is a shutdown defender. The Apes look to cement their legacy as a first-year franchise in Week 1 when they take on the Capital City Bandits.
I'm sorry, I had the forced graphic up. I didn't realize it. My wife interrupted me, telling me there's a tornado coming, and I forgot to take it off.
No worries.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing what the Apes can do. Again, you're watching Rundown episode 54 live on Facebook and YouTube. But first, Chris, as the other Chris always says, time to pay some bills.
Pay the bills.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Rundown. Well, we never stop the show. Come hell, high water, tornado, it don't matter. We're staying with it. And as always,
I got a show to do.
Absolutely. We got bills to pay. The Rundown is also powered by the PFA. Now on to the 3A division. First up, the Michigan Bills.
Hey, the graphic worked.
Hey,
now we head over to the 3A division of the PFA. We start with the Michigan Bills. The Bills are going into their third season in the PFA. 2025 was a tough year, riddled with injuries and other things, players leaving. 2026 is shaping up to be a great year for the Bills with several key players as well as new signings to their roster, Chris, during the offseason. Starting off with some of the position changes, Darian Gold, a two-way player, will be switching to tight end. He has been getting in shape and working hard to get acclimated to that position.
You know, former University of Michigan running back Dennis Norfleet looks to dominate this level of football as he makes his pro advancement debut as a rookie. Up-and-coming wide receiver Jamar Sanders looks to have an explosive year with his great route running abilities and catching abilities that are high level. Now, the Bills will travel to Flag City to take on the Phantoms in preseason 2A versus 3A game, and then we'll host the Michigan Warriors at home. Then we'll be on the road for Week 1, taking on the Motor City Rams to open up the PFA 2026 season.
And speaking of the Rams, on to the Rams. The Rams are looking to get back to the championship in 2026, Chris, after a semifinals exit in 2025 versus the Racine Raiders. Returning for the Rams on offense is wide receiver Curtis C.J. Allen. Had last year 20 receptions, 368 yards, 5 touchdowns. He'll be looking to have a breakout year with fellow wide receiver Devin Ashley, who had 35 receptions, 768 yards, and 8 touchdowns in 2025. Both look to have breakout years. Also bringing back Torian Belton, offensive line, John Skinner, Future Thomas, is the infamous behind the back pass on that ESPN God. If you hadn't seen that,
Oh yeah. Who could forget that one?
Behind his back, it was absolutely crazy. He was a quarterback last year, and he threw for 2,022 yards. Only behind, and him and Torrance Webster of the Ravens were neck and neck for a while for the MVP, and he had 24 touchdowns with 8 interceptions last year. I'm not sure that he's playing quarterback this year. I have not heard, and I didn't ask the Rams organization yet. Ormani Posey and Debo Batten, a very potent offense in 2025 looks to be full strength for 2026.
Now, we all know that the Rams defensive side of the ball was one of the top defenses of the nation in 2025 as they look to continue that trend in 2026. Now, returning defensive lineman Dakari Johnson, defensive lineman Kayshawn Tyson, and who's also a wide receiver threat, defensive back Cam Bell, defensive back Keeve Honcho. I like these nicknames, Honcho Williams, and defensive lineman Toronto Belton. Some standouts in camp so far have been defensive back Davion Hayes. Davion. Is it Davion? Yeah,
I think it's Davion, yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. Davion Hayes. Defensive lineman Adrian Williams, wide receiver Drew Carroll, Tezo Borden-Jones, got the hyphen in there, an athlete. Javon Bub Perry, running back. Archie Nolan, linebacker. And DJ Atkins, another athlete. And followed by Zay Alder, or Alier. Boy, I'm tongue-tied.
Zay Eiler.
Eiler, with an I. Wait, who knows? Defensive back.
Yeah, Chris, they also have some rookies that are standing out in camp as well. According to the organization, when I talked to them, looking to roll that into the season, Harvey Briscoe, tight end wide receiver, Jordan Malone, defensive line linebacker, as well as running back Deshaun Matthews.
Now, the Rams start 2026 with a huge preseason matchup against the Illinois Cowboys, which should make a great game between the two powerhouse teams. And, of course, they open the season against crosstown rivals, Michigan Bills. The Rams are looking for a game on May 9th. So if you're not afraid to play a tough team and, possibly get your ass kicked, or maybe not, who knows, contact Commissioner Duncan to set that team up.
That's right. We got smoke. We got games. We got dates, as Commissioner Duncan always tries to say when he's trying to get these filled. Had a date, and the team backed out. I won't say why they backed out. Anyways, on to the Ravens. Last but not least, it's the 2025 PFA champs, the Detroit Ravens. The Ravens head into 2026 season with momentum, purpose, and a growing reputation for developing talent at the next level. The hottest topic surrounding this program continues to be its commitment to player career advancement. Standout wide receiver A.J. Smith has officially signed with the Toronto Argonauts, as we talked to him earlier in the show, marking the second Ravens player in the last 3 years to reach a high-level pro roster, Chris. On the defensive side, Delvon Wells has also taken the next step, signing an indoor contract. However, Ravens fans can expect him to return as he plans to be back in the Ravens uniform by June, bringing the elite experience and leadership to the defense.
Leading the returning core at veteran standouts, Torrance Webster, 2025 PFA back-to-back 3A MVP with 140 out of 200 attempts, 32 yards, 31 touchdowns, and only 6 interceptions. And co-defensive MVP Cortez Tempton, both entering the season on a mission to elevate their program and chase another championship run. The 2026 roster will also feature a wave of new talent and rookie pickups, adding depth, speed, explosiveness across the board. These additions will be heavily showcased throughout the season by the Ravens' dynamic media presence. With proven development, high-level entertainment, and momentum, and hunger to dominate, the Detroit Lions once again have positioned themselves to make noise in 2026. The Ravens open the 2026 season in a crossover matchup with the Cleveland Broncos out of the PAFL. Shout
out to the Cleveland Broncos owner. Jimmy is in the chat, or he was in the chat, and he did say, I will say, got another tornado warning, and this is what Jimmy said. If you could see I need a raise doing the show in the middle of a tornado. That's damn right I do.
That's right.
that's all she wrote, Chris. I mean, we flew through that show pretty good. So I mean, that will conclude the 2026 PFA season preview. Remember, the 2026 season kicks off May 2nd, and tune into the rundown each week starting today on Thursdays at 7 p.m. live on Facebook and YouTube to see all the game previews with myself, myself, Brian Mitchum, Director of Media Development, and Chris Cousins, Director of Podcasting, normally, and sometimes Chris Dotson, the other white meat, Director of Media Strategy, will be here when Chris is on vacation. Thank you again, Mr. Dotson, for filling in for him while he's away. And like I said earlier, you guys held it down for me when I was out with my injury, and then so I appreciate it's a team effort here, the team effort. And check out the Rundown Extra Point on Sundays. Right now on Sundays for all the highlights and more during the season as well. With one of the three of us, we're not sure exactly which one, but it's most likely going to be Dotson. But yeah,
most likely. And as always, the Rundown is powered by the PFA, for the players, by the players. And once again, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Trinity Trifecta, the official uniform provider of the PFA. Trinity Trifecta, eventually everything connects. And by Goat Gear, our official Player of the Week sponsor.
And that is going to be a wrap. My wife just poked her head in my office again and then shook her head like there's a tornado coming. So that's going to be a wrap for episode 54 of The Rundown. As always, I'm Brian Mitchum. And for my co-host, Chris Dotson, catch us if you can.